Open your Bibles to Genesis chapter 23 as we will discuss the death and burial of Sarah. Genesis chapter 23.
Genesis 23. Sarah lived to be 127 years old. She died at Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went to mourn for Sarah and to weep over her. Then Abraham rose from beside his dead wife and spoke to the Hittites. He said, I am an alien and a stranger among you. Sell me some property for a burial site here so I can bury my dead. The Hittites replied to Abraham, Sir, listen to us. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will refuse you his tomb for burying your dead. Then Abraham rose and bowed down before the people of the land, the Hittites. He said to them, If you are willing to let me bury my dead, then listen to me, and intercede with Ephron, son of Zohar, on my behalf, so he will sell me the cave of Machpelah, which belongs to him, and is at the end of his field. Ask him to sell it to me for the full price, as a burial site among you. Ephron the Hittite was sitting among his people, and he replied to Abraham in the hearing of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of his city, No, my lord, he said, listen to me. I give you the field. I give you the cave that is in it. I give it to you in the presence of my people. Bury your dead. Again Abraham bowed down before the people of the land, and he said to Ephron in their hearing, Listen to me if you will. I will pay the price of the field. Accept it from me, so I can bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, Listen to me, my lord. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver, but what is that between me and you? Bury your dead. Abraham agreed to Ephron's terms, and weighed out for him the price he had named in the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver, according to the weight current among the merchants. So Ephron's field in Machpelah near Mamre, both the field and the cave in it, and all the trees within the borders of the field, was deeded to Abraham as his property in the presence of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of the city. Afterward Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave, in the field of Machpelah near Mamre, which is at Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave in it were deeded to Abraham by the Hittites as a burial site.
Now, as we look at the first couple of verses, we are reminded of how old Sarah was and where she was. In verses 1 and 2, now Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went in to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. So we see that Sarah is 127 years old. This is now 37 years after she gave birth to Isaac, who was the promised son. Now, Abraham asked for the sons of Heth for a burial site for his wife Sarah in verses 3 through 6. Abraham rose from before his dead and spoke to the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner among you. Give me a burial site among you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And the sons of Heth answered Abraham, saying to him, Hear us, my lord. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our graves. None of us will refuse you his grave for burying your dead. Now we see that the sons of Heth are showing Abraham, a measure of respect. Hey, you are a mighty prince among us. Really choose wherever you would like to bury your dead. We're okay with it. Now, Abraham asked for a specific piece of land in verses 7 to 9. We read, So Abraham rose and bowed to the people of the land, the sons of Heth, and he spoke with them, saying, If it is your wish for me to bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and approach Ephron, the son of Zohar, for me, that he may give the cave of Machpelah, which he owns, which is at the end of his field. For the full price, let him give it to me in your presence for a burial site. Now, They have told Abraham that he can have any of the choice of the land, but he asked for a particular piece of land. This piece of land that was owned by Maphala, somewhere towards the end of the field. Now, Ephron does not want to. He does not want to be paid for the land in verses 10 and 11, which read, "Now Ephron was sitting among the sons of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the sons of Heth, even of all who went in at the gate of his city, saying, No, my Lord, hear me. I give you the field, and I give you the cave that is in it. In the presence of the sons of my people, I will give it to you. Bury your dead." So it seems that Ephron wants to do the right things here by saying, no, you take the land. I know you said you would pay full price for it, but you take the land. It is yours. Now we notice in the negotiation continues in verses 12 through 16. And Abraham bowed before the people of the land, and he spoke to Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, "If you will only please listen to me, I will give the price of the field, accept it from me, that I may bury my dead there." Then Ephron answered Abraham, saying to him, "My Lord, listen to me. A piece of land worth 400 shekels of silver, what is that between me and you? So bury your dead." And Abraham listened to Ephron, and Abraham weighed out for Ephron the silver which he had named in the hearing of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, commercial standard. Now, when you read these verses, you see that Ephron really wasn't going to give away the field for free. He was just bargaining. So what I'm basically saying is that Ephron was really putting up a front. This whole thing about, oh, you are a lord among us, take the land, you don't have to pay me for the land. But we see that he threw out right there in verse 15, what is 400 shekels of silver between me and you. So my point here is that Ephron was never going to give the land up for free. He was really just negotiating. It's kind of like when someone offers, let's just say, to pay for something for you. They offer to pay for your dinner, right? And they say, no, I've got it. And then you turn around and say, no, you don't pay. You don't have to pay. I'll pay for the dinner. And then the person goes back and says, no, I'll take the check. Now, in sometimes in a person's heart, they really don't want to pay for the dinner, but they're just really negotiating, waiting on you to offer a few times to pay for it. And then they can finally give in and say, okay, all right, you pay for it. That's kind of what Ephron was doing here. He didn't want to give up that land for free. He was really just negotiating and putting Abraham in the spot to make him pay for it. And basically, if we keep going back and forth, eventually he may pay me the full amount, or maybe even a little more, because he wants to bury his wife in a choice grave. Now we see that Abraham purchases the land, verses 17 through 20. So Ephron's field, which was in Machpelah, which faced Mamre, the field and cave which was in it, and all the trees which were in the field that were within all the confines of his border, were deeded over to Abraham for possession in the presence of the sons of Heth, before all who went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, facing Mamre, which is in Hebron, in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave that is in it were deeded over to Abraham for a burial site by the sons of Heth. And it was so. Abraham now has put Sarah to rest. That was a pretty short chapter. It wasn't a whole lot that jumped out in that chapter. Just that we get to the end of Sarah's life. So that is it for Genesis chapter 23. That's all for now. God bless.
Jesus paid it all. All to him I owe. sin had left a crimson stain. He washed me white as snow. Jesus